You're lying in bed, phone 2 inches from your face. The room is dark, quiet, still. Then her name pops up again. She watched your story, then liked a photo from 3 weeks ago, then posted something weirdly specific right after you uploaded yours. And now you're staring at the screen thinking, what does that mean? Was that on purpose? Is she interested? Or am I making this up again? Do I reply now? Do I wait? Why is this stuff so hard to read? Here's the truth most guys never hear. She's usually not trying to get your attention in an obvious way. She's trying to get your attention in a safe way. That changes everything. So if you've ever felt confused by mixed signals, bro, you're not crazy. This isn't about you being needy or broken. Most guys feel this exact tension, and nobody explains what's actually happening underneath it. By the end of this video, you're going to know the 7 social media moves women make when they want you to notice them, what those signals really mean emotionally, and how to read them without looking desperate, clueless, or too eager. Let's get into it. Most guys believe social media attraction is about decoding random likes, counting views, or trying to guess what every emoji means. But the real truth is deeper than that. A woman usually doesn't use social media just to communicate information. She uses it to communicate energy. She's not only showing you something, she's feeling something out. That's the part nobody talks about. When a woman is interested, she rarely wants to risk full exposure too early. She doesn't want to throw herself at you and feel stupid if you don't respond. So instead, she creates little emotional openings, small doors, low-risk signals. Not loud pursuit, not desperate chasing, not random online behavior, but subtle, calibrated invitations that let her feel your vibe before she invests more. Because attraction on social media works like temperature, not logic. She senses how you respond. She feels whether your energy is grounded or hungry. Her gut picks up whether you're calm, magnetic, and genuine, or whether you instantly collapse into overthinking the second she gives you a little attention. And here's the thing. Most guys ruin it because they focus on the move. The woman focuses on the feeling. You're asking, what does this mean? She's feeling, how does he handle it? That's when attraction begins. Not when she sees you, when she feels you. So, with that mindset, let's go into the 7 things she does online when she's trying to get your attention. 1. She starts orbiting your content. Here's the first sign. She becomes strangely present. Most guys see this and either do too much or dismiss it completely. They think it's just a view, or they get excited and instantly start forcing conversation. But when a woman keeps appearing around your content, that usually isn't accidental. She's testing proximity. She wants to be seen without fully stepping forward yet. She's creating a soft presence in your digital world, so your brain starts registering hers. And that matters, because familiarity is emotional caffeine for attraction. The more natural your presence feels to her, the less risky deeper interaction starts to feel. Think about it like this. Social media is her way of walking past your table without sitting down yet. So maybe she watches every story, likes the photo you posted at midnight, then shows up again the next morning. Most guys respond by double texting, liking 6 things back, or suddenly acting like a fan. The better move is simple. You notice it, you stay calm, you keep your energy grounded. And when you do engage, you do it like you expected her to be there. Not needy interest, not cold pretending, not fake alpha silence, just relaxed awareness. That's powerful. Because when you handle her orbiting without rushing, she feels safe staying close. And that's often the first shift from casual awareness into real curiosity. 2. She likes something old. And here's where it gets interesting. She doesn't just like your newest post. She reaches back. Most guys think an old like means nothing, or they panic and assume it means everything. But when she suddenly likes something older, especially out of sequence, it often means she was spending time in your world on purpose. That's not about the post. It's about the pull. She got curious. She wanted more context. She wanted to feel who you are when you're not performing in the present moment. Old posts tell a story. They reveal your habits, your vibe, your lifestyle, your mindset. And if she's there, man, it usually means she's trying to read your energy more deeply. Her brain is saying, "Let me see if this guy is real." Her gut is asking, "Does his presence still feel magnetic when I look closer?" That matters, because attraction gets stronger when interest survives inspection. Let's make it real. Wrong reaction. You message her instantly with, "LOL, stalking much?" That puts her on trial. It creates self-consciousness. Now she feels exposed. Better reaction. Later on, if conversation opens naturally, you keep it light. Maybe she replies to a story, and you respond with something playful and effortless. No mention of the old like. No scoreboard. No interrogation. Why? Because when you don't punish her curiosity, she feels free to keep exploring you. And that's when interest starts turning into investment. 3. She creates accidental openings. This is the one most guys completely miss. She gives you an easy excuse to talk. Maybe she replies to your story with a laughing emoji. Maybe she reacts to something tiny. Maybe she sends, "Wait, where is this?" Or, "No way," or, "That song is fire." On the surface, it looks small, but psychologically, it's bigger than it seems. She's lowering the friction. Most guys mishandle this because they judge the message by its content instead of its intention. They think, "That's all she said?" Or they overcompensate and turn one emoji into a marriage proposal. Both kill the vibe. Because the message isn't the message. The opening is the message. She's giving you a socially safe bridge, a low-pressure doorway. She doesn't want to force intensity. She wants to feel whether you can carry momentum without making it weird. That's why these small replies matter so much. They're not random, not meaningless, not filler. They're her version of tapping your shoulder and seeing how your energy turns toward her. Picture this. She replies to your gym story with, "Damn, okay." Most guys fire back with a paragraph, a flex, or something try-hard like, "Haha, yeah, I've been working hard. You should come train with me sometime." Too much, too fast. A better response is something like, "I was waiting for someone to finally appreciate greatness." Or, "Respect. You noticed. Playful, grounded, effortless. Now she's thinking, okay, he's fun. He didn't pounce. He gets it. And when you respond that way, she feels the conversation can breathe. That's when she starts replaying the exchange in her head. 4. She posts things she knows you'll notice. Here's the part nobody talks about. Sometimes the post isn't for everyone. It's for you. Most guys assume every story or post is just generic attention-seeking. But when a woman likes you, she'll often start placing little signals in public that are secretly aimed in one direction. A song lyric you mentioned, a place you talked about, a joke that sounds suspiciously familiar, a photo with a certain mood right after your interaction. Why? Because direct attention feels vulnerable. Indirect attention feels safer. She gets to express interest without fully exposing it. She gets to think, if he notices, good. If he doesn't, I can still pretend it was nothing. That emotional safety matters more than most guys understand. And here's the thing. Women are often incredibly tuned in to emotional timing. If the vibe with you felt good, she may post in a way that keeps that feeling alive. Like tossing one more log onto a fire without standing too close to the flame. Example, you and her talk about late-night drives and old R&B. An hour later, she posts a story in the car with that exact kind of song playing. Most guys either ignore it completely or slide in way too hard with, "So this was definitely for me." Again, too much pressure. The right move is lighter, something like, "Solid soundtrack. You might actually know what you're doing." You acknowledge the signal without trapping her inside it. That's key. Because when you let her be subtle without calling it out aggressively, she feels understood instead of cornered, and that feeling is magnetic. 5. She mirrors your vibe. Now this one is deeper. She starts sounding a little like you. Most guys don't notice mirroring because they only look for obvious signs, but real attraction often shows up in rhythm, in tone, in energy. In the little ways she starts matching your world. Maybe you use a certain kind of humor, and suddenly she starts joking in a similar style. Maybe you post more grounded, calm content, and her stories start feeling less chaotic. Maybe you share a certain aesthetic, and now she's leaning into that lane too. That's not copycat behavior. That's connection behavior. When someone feels drawn to you, their nervous system often starts syncing with your pace. Conversation is a dance, man. And when she likes your energy, she unconsciously starts learning the rhythm. That's why mirroring matters. It means your presence is landing. Her inner world is saying, being around this guy feels good. Sometimes even, why do I keep thinking about him? And here's where most guys blow it. They either miss it, or they start performing harder. They try to become even cooler, even louder, even more impressive. That usually breaks the spell. Let's say you have a dry, playful style. You post something simple and calm. She responds in the same tone. Most guys suddenly switch into over-explaining or peacocking. The better move is to stay in the same lane. Match the rhythm back. Keep it genuine. Keep it real. Because when you stay consistent, she feels emotional coherence. And that's when your vibe starts becoming addictive. 6. She disappears, then reappears. This one confuses almost every man. Because it feels mixed. She's watching your stories for days, then gone. Then suddenly back with a like, a reply, or a random reaction like nothing happened. Most guys read this as manipulation, rejection, or some giant mystery. Sometimes it is just life. But a lot of the time, when a woman likes you, this pattern means she's managing her own emotions. She felt the pull, then she pulled back. Not because the interest died, not because you failed some invisible test, not because she forgot you exist, but because attraction can make people self-conscious, especially when they don't fully understand what they feel yet. She may disappear to regain control, to see if the feeling fades, to check whether you'll chase and make it weird. Then, when enough emotional pressure drops, she reappears. And that reappearance tells you something. Her curiosity survived the distance. Here's the difference between most guys and a grounded man. Most guys panic during the silence. They double view, force replies, post thirst traps, or send random check-ins to pull her back. A grounded man stays calm. He lets silence do what silence does. Because silence between interactions is like silence between musical notes. That's where tension lives. That's where anticipation grows. So when she comes back, you don't punish the gap. You don't say, "Oh, so now you want to talk?" You simply respond with clean energy and let the interaction restart naturally. Why? Because when you don't make her feel guilty for needing space, she feels safe returning. And that's the shift that turns interest into emotional trust. 7. She gives you breadcrumbs, not declarations. This is the biggest one. And honestly, bro, this is where everything clicks. Most guys are waiting for obvious proof. A direct confession, a huge sign, a message so clear it removes all doubt. But that's usually not how female attraction works, especially early on. She gives breadcrumbs. A view here, a reply there, a repeated appearance, a playful jab, a song, a late like, a little extra warmth that doesn't seem loud enough to count on its own. That's the point. She's rarely trying to hand you certainty. She's trying to create momentum. Because attraction grows best in space, in suggestion, in emotional movement, not in overexposure, not in forced clarity, not in a giant neon sign saying, "Yes, I like you." Her brain wants room to feel. Her instincts want to see if you can read the vibe without demanding that she over-explain it. That's why breadcrumbs matter. They are small by design. Imagine two guys. Guy 1 sees her repeated signals and says, "Just tell me if you like me." That collapses the tension. Now she feels pressure. Guy 2 notices the pattern and simply leads the energy forward. He responds well. He keeps the vibe warm. He opens a conversation. Maybe he moves it off social media at the right moment. No force, no begging, no neediness. Now she's thinking, he gets it. He doesn't need everything spelled out. And when a woman feels that from you, she feels like she's dealing with a man who is calm in uncertainty. That's rare. That's magnetic. That's the kind of presence she doesn't forget. So what's the real takeaway here? This isn't about memorizing social media signs like some robotic checklist. It's about becoming the kind of man who can feel the difference between random attention and real interest without losing his center. When you internalize this, you stop reacting from anxiety and start moving from grounded awareness. And that changes your whole energy. Because these signals aren't asking you to chase harder. They're asking you to respond better. Stop chasing the spark. Become the flame. And if you really want to level this up, the next thing you need to learn is what to do after she gives you these signs. Because spotting interest is one skill. Responding without looking needy, overeager, or emotionally sloppy is the skill that changes your results. So, go watch the next video on how to reply when she's clearly interested but still testing your vibe. That's where most guys lose her. And that's exactly where you're going to separate yourself.